kind of decided last minute to head out to San Francisco. I wanted to visit my Aunt Joanne. There she is with me as a baby. I don't think I was ever that small. And do some birding. I haven't been birding in California for, since, well, early 2000s, before we had kids. And I really wanted to improve my photos from these Pacific Northwest birds. But here's a bizarre thing. I checked the in-flight map, as I am prone to do. I said, we're going to fly right over Pinedale, Wyoming. And I looked down, and unbelievably, there is the abandoned ski resort where we had a VRBO. Unbeknownst to us, it was an abandoned ski resort. So we were the only people there. Kind of bizarre. But then we hit a deer. We were going to Jackson Hole to visit my cousin, and messed up, totaled our vehicle. So we were basically refugees in Pinedale for like a week. Okay, maybe not quite a week, but if you have to be marooned in a small town in Wyoming, Pinedale is not a bad place to be. Back to birds, I really wanted to get some good photos of some of these species I hadn't seen in 20 years or 30 years. And I was hoping for a few lifers. I had 7 possibilities. Realistically, maybe I could get 4. But always fun to try. And I love Northern California. It's just a stunning place with stunning weather this time of year. Yep, I must be in California. Whew, I made it. San Francisco, not my favorite thing. Rental car places, airplanes, finding your way around a brand new city and cities. So I'm heading right out of town to Petaluma. Sounds pretty. Supposed to be some scaly-breasted munias. Be a lifer. Haven't seen a bird yet. Actually, I've been to San Francisco multiple times to visit Aunt Joanne, and I've done some birding and backpacking in the Sierras. But my first stop was this water recycling area that is basically an alternative to just strictly sewage ponds. A great model that I wish we could follow in Minnesota. Trails and benches and tons of wildlife around these kind of natural looking ponds. Yeah, lesser goldfinches, and here's one getting nesting material. Like our American goldfinch, they nest late in the season. The exotic but naturalized scaly-breasted munia is giving me the slip. No luck. Had fun with some black Phoebes, which I had rarely seen before, so that was nice. And there were also some snowy egrets, maybe 5 or 6 of them. And yeah, I had not only Bullock's oriole, but hooded oriole as well. Didn't get a very good photo of that. And, of course, the ever-present house finches. There was also way out there another slough and had a ton of mute swans, as well as a long-billed curlew, a bunch of avocets, and even a couple flyover American bitterns, but way too far out for any good photos. On to the next spot. Yes, and that spot would be In-N-Out Burger because I was hungry. While eating my double burger, I checked eBird for recent yellow-billed magpie sightings because I've seen them before but never ever gotten a photo. So Red Bluff Recreation Area in Red Bluff, California was my next stop. Hear that yellow-billed magpie? Right there. Maybe ticked off because there's a red-shouldered hawk right next to him. I wasn't expecting to have to photograph yellow-billed magpies up in the trees, but some flash helped. These guys were angry. They were upset at that red-shouldered hawk, so it made for a little interesting photos. And what is exciting about this bird is that it is nearly a California endemic. I think it gets down into Baja, Mexico a bit too. There's also Bewick's wren and Nuttall's woodpecker. Crappy photos, but I thought, I'll see more. Well, guess what? I didn't see any more of the entire trip. Isn't that the way it goes? So get your best shot when you got the bird right in front of you, I guess, is the lesson. $10, glad to pay it. Very good cause. It's 7:30 a.m. Probably should have been here an hour earlier, but I'm at this random place called Rayhouse Road, Road 40 in the Cache Creek. And I don't know where I am. I saw an eBird report, some phenomenal stuff. Bell's Sparrow, which would be a lifer. California Thrasher, which I don't have a photo of. I rode a scooter up here and back, 18 miles. But I like it because it's outside of a regular national park, and yeah, I feel like it's ripe for exploring. So I must go up through some different habitats. Yeah, let's get to it. Just had some acorn woodpeckers in the parking lot. Good sign. Check it out. This pine is absolutely laced with holes drilled by acorn woodpeckers to stash their acorns in. It's crazy, thousands. Such a fun bird to watch. They always have some kind of antics going on. But this time they were doing a lot of fly catching, and I managed to get one photo where the bird and the insect were semi-sharp, but fun to watch. Okay, I've made all my plans based around this one road, this one eBird report, and now I can't get there. Drove an hour here, I was already hours out of my way, and I just paid $10, which still goes to a good cause. Ooh, it hurts. That's sharp. Downright hurts. I would not like to get hit with that in the head. I was fairly proud of myself to get decent video and decent photos of two very kind of shy and retiring, hard to photograph species. This little band of Bushtit, and then also the oak titmice. Actually kind of not just little brown birds as I thought, but kind of cute. Well, I made the best of it, I guess. California quail popped up. There's a couple wood ducks in the river, white-breasted nuthatch, and got my lifer California scrub jay. Yeah, well, she looks pretty much identical to the Woodhouse's scrub jay. Yeah, let's move on. Never even heard of it. Well, this national monument I'd never heard of ended up being a pretty good stop. Had fun with a Wrentit, a bird I'd only seen once before, and this time got him to come out and saw his white eye. Unfortunately, my Canon R5 was overheating, so I didn't get you any video, but I did record the song. Pretty cool, ping pong ball-like song. Ding, 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 ding. I can't really recommend Sacramento National Wildlife Refuge in the summer, but unbelievable place I've heard in the winter with the wintering ducks, etc. But I had fun with ash-throated flycatcher and some western kingbirds that must have had a nest nearby. They were keeping a close eye on me. Once again, the Magmod flash extender saved my photos on this sunny day with the harsh light. I'm going to do a whole episode on my photography from this trip at the end. I think this will be about a 4-part series, and then I'll have a bonus episode that will include my favorite photos from the entire trip and how I got them and what tools I used and yeah, what I could have done better and what I learned. Because you always learn something. You always do something stupid on these trips. So stay tuned for that. I'm at Burney Falls State Park looking for the black swifts, and the trail to the bottom of the falls is closed until 2025. And I didn't have any luck at the main overlook seeing any swifts at all. It's beautiful falls though. They say it's best to get down to the bottom and look up to silhouette the swifts against the sky and see them as they're coming into their nests, which are behind these little rivulet waterfalls in that vegetation. Crazy. Pretty cool. This looks like the wing of a swift. Something ate it right here. Well, I can now say I've walked on part of the Pacific Crest Trail. Only 1,400 miles to Mexico and 1,232 miles to Canada. Wow. Kudos to those people that do that. I squeaked in a white-headed woodpecker. But then I was taking some video and I lost track of him. Oh. There's the white-headed woodpecker. It's way off now. They must have had a nest nearby because, as you can see, this male's got a beak full of insects. And I'm probably going to get hate mail for this, but this is one of those species that I think looks better in the bird book than in real life. Ooh, ouch. Did I really say that? Perfect hole for an owl. I scratched on the tree, but nothing. Male red-breasted sapsucker just flew right by my head. I don't know if I can find him. Interestingly, Burney Falls comes from water in this creek, but only like half a mile upstream from the falls, it's dry. And then there's this spring that just must be putting out thousands of gallons, but it enables the waterfall to be running year-round at kind of the same volume. Here's a little tip for you to prevent what happened to me once. You know, you gotta charge your batteries, and sometimes the only outlet's in the bathroom. Something you can't go anywhere without on top. In this case, my car keys. And now I will never forget my very expensive Canon batteries. Good morning. Oh, it was hard to get up this morning. Oofta, I've been going all day. But you know what? I hate to leave a hotel without getting that free breakfast. I did bring camping stuff, but not a tent, so I could sleep in the vehicle if I need to. I wasn't sure the lodging situation out here, and well, now I'm getting into the weekend, so I might be sleeping in the back of the truck. But today, I don't know. It's hard because you don't know. We've never been here. You don't know. You know, you got an ancient guidebook. You got, you know, eBird. But it's so hard to decide where to go. It's one of the fun things I love about traveling in a new place is I just stumbled upon this old ghost town Shasta, California. I love old stuff, old buildings, vernacular architecture. So just stopping to take a look. That was really cool. Mama common merg with a bunch of mergansers, baby mergansers. And I was hoping I could get a shot straight down on them. Kind of did. Wasn't as maybe cool as I thought, but wow, what a neat experience. Yikes. The long and winding drive along the Trinity River in the Shasta Trinity Wilderness is pretty amazing. And at some random pullout, I just got out to stretch my legs, and there was a red-shouldered hawk screaming away. And I'm putting this one in my back pocket because this is a California red-shouldered hawk. The population is completely separate and distinct from the eastern red-shouldered hawk. Note the bright orange underwing coverts and the clear orange breast. The AOS has a proposal to split them from red-shouldered hawk this year, but there's not a lot of genetic evidence yet, so it's probably will not be accepted. And then a Lazuli bunting started singing, so great random stop. And the bonus was this buck in velvet who didn't see me. Look at all the flies on his face. Until he saw me. And then he was gone. I'm going to end here with some of my favorite photos from this segment of the trip. Maybe some of the more creative images, not just the bird portraits. And remember, after this California series is done, I'm going to do a whole episode on just the photography and how I think I did and what I could do better next time.